Let's get making. Yeah, he hates everything.
A middleman is a trader who buys cheap, sells dear, and does nothing in between to improve the product being sold. Middlemen are everywhere, and probably have been, since the very first transactions started to improve the lives of primitive humans. Marco Polo and his family were middlemen. So's Amazon. Between those two, in time and complexity, lie millions of specialized, highly profitable actions and transactions. But are middlemen good for modern market systems, or are they just parasites? Many traders are middlemen. My own name comes from Mancgere, a dealer or trader, often in illicit or smuggled goods. The name has an even older root, from the Saxon writings of the Hanseatic League in the 10th century. The word is Mancgere. Sharon Turner's remarkable 3-volume History of the Anglo-Saxons, which was published in 1836, introduces the Mancgere this way, quoting from an 11th century psalter.
In the Saxon dialogues, the merchant or Mancgere is introduced. I say that I'm useful to the king and to aldermen and to the rich and to all people. I ascend my ship with my merchandise and I sail over the sea-like places. It's an odd translation. And sell my things, and buy dear things which are not produced in this land. And I bring them to you here with great danger over the sea. And sometimes I suffer shipwreck, with the loss of all my things, scarcely escaping myself. Well, what things do you bring to us? Skins, silks, costly gems and gold, various garments, pigment, wine, oil, ivory, and orichalcus, which is brass. Copper and tin, silver, glass, and such like. Will you sell your things here as you brought them here? I will not, because what would my labor benefit me? I will sell them dearer here than I bought them there, that I may get some profit to feed me, my wife, and my children.
It's all there: risk, greed, profit. But note that the Mancgere of 1050 AD is unashamed. He claims he's useful. Can that be right? After all, the Mancgere admits he doesn't make the product better. All he does is move it from far to near, and then sells it at a much higher price. We'd be better off without him, wouldn't we? At a minimum, isn't the trader simply a parasite, preying on people's needs for goods and providing nothing of real value himself? Well, no. We couldn't have modern economies without middlemen. To see why, let's turn to a work by Frederick Bastiat, first published in 1850. The entire essay, That Which Is Seen and That Which Is Not Seen, is full of insight. But I want to focus on just one section. That's section 6, the middlemen.
Many people are vehement in their attack on those they call middlemen. They would willingly eliminate the capitalist, the banker, the speculator, the entrepreneur, the businessman, and the merchant, accusing them of interposing themselves between the producer and the consumer in order to fleece them both, without giving them anything of value. Or rather, the reformers would like to transfer to the state the work of the middlemen, for this work cannot be eliminated. Regarding the famine of 1847, "Why," they said, "leave to the merchants the task of getting foodstuffs from the United States and the Crimea? Why cannot the state, the departments, and the municipalities organize a provisioning service and set up warehouses for stockpiling? They would sell at net cost, and the people, the poor people, would be relieved of the tribute that they pay to free, that is, selfish, individualistic, anarchical trade." Well, when the stomach that is hungry is in Paris, and the wheat that can satisfy it is in Odessa, the suffering will not cease until the wheat reaches the stomach. There are 3 ways to accomplish this. The hungry men can go themselves to find the wheat. They can put their trust in those who engage in this kind of business, or they can levy an assessment on themselves and charge public officials with the task.
Bastiat is addressing the common claim that the state is more efficient because bureaucrats are motivated by public service and not profit. But this is wrong. It's disastrously wrong. First, State officials are not motivated by public interest. They're no worse, but they're also no better than anyone else. They respond to incentives. Second, without the signals of price and profit provided by markets and middlemen, it's by no means clear what products should be shipped where or when. The state has literally no means of affecting the transport or knowing where the food should go in the first place. It is the pursuit of profit by middlemen, buying cheap and selling dear, that ensures that, as Bastiat puts it, the wheat will reach the stomach faster, more cheaply, and more reliably than any service the state could possibly create. As Bastiat puts it, the system of middlemen performs what seems like a miracle. Directed by the comparison of prices, it distributes food over the whole surface of the country, beginning always at the highest price, that is, where the demand is the greatest. It's impossible to imagine an organization that more completely is calculated to meet those needs of the people who are in want.
Let's get Mikey. Yeah, he hates everything.